Hi guys and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Sunderland 3-0 win. We did get back to winning ways, which is exactly what we asked for in the preview to this game, and we did it in style as well. It could have been plenty more. I do feel like we didn't even really get out of first gear, if I'm going to be completely honest. You know, commiseration to Sheffield Wednesday fans. I know they've got a lot going on at that club. You know, it was only this morning, baffling the way they've done this. I'll just quickly touch up on it. Of course, a Sheffield Wednesday owner came out with a statement this morning. If you want to put it in layman's terms and really squeeze it down to what it is essentially saying, fans, please stop saying nasty things about me, otherwise I'm going to stop putting money into the club. It was baffling and the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen. Well, I'll say that. We used to get run like that. So it was actually quite refreshing to see another club being treated like that, and we're on the other end of it. Do you know what I mean? It's never nice for another club, but when you come away with a 3-0 win, I'm not going to complain or feel too sorry for anyone. Do you know what I mean? But getting into that game, of course, on the back of all that I just said, Sheffield Wednesday, they won a game so far this season. It looked on paper to be a relatively easy game, but we had to be focused. We had to prep properly, and we did indeed. So we had Passo in goal across the back. We had the usual Huggins, Ballard, I'll say, by the way, because a certain someone in the comments will not leave it alone. It's just the way I say it, all right? I say Ballard sometimes, so it sounds like I'm saying B-O, but I'm not. I am saying Ballard. It's just when I say it quick. Either way, Ballard, O'Nien, and we had Hume at right back. Then we had Dhannoo, as well as Job and Pritchard, and then Clark on one side. Roberts started for the first time in 6 games on the right-hand side, with Burstow remaining the striker up top. Now, getting into the game, firstly, I won't lie, you know, for the first it was literally 4 or 5 minutes, don't get me wrong, it wasn't long, but 4 or 5 minutes, they actually started quite brightly. They got down the flanks quite well, they were pinging balls into the box, and they seemed like they were putting on a bit of pressure. But then, of course, we do break forward, or at least I think they commit it was basically from their own doing. Their keeper has the ball, they try to play it out from the back, the keeper's try to play it into the man who's got his back to goal, facing his own goal. And it's a poor pass. I think it might have been to Hendrick, possibly. And they end up taking out Bellingham. So we do get a free kick. Pritchard stands over it, takes a deflection off the wall to go for a corner. From that following corner, the ball pings in, and it's just so refreshing to see a score from a freaking corner, from a set piece. Ball gets put in. No one is tracking Ballard at all, and he rises like a salmon, thumps it across goal and into the back of the net to make it 1-0. Then just a few moments later, Bellingham nicks it off them. We keep crowding them out as soon as we get into our final third. We crowd them out. I think it was Pritchard that actually originally gets the tackle in, but it does fall for Job. Job with a brilliant diag ball from right to left, and he finds Clark. And what does Clark do? Of course, he brings it down. And when he originally brings it down, I actually thought, although it was a great touch, it kind of brought it down a little bit behind him, so I thought it was going to slow it down and then he was going to go backwards. But because the Sheffield Wednesday players, they were walking it, they were such a slow tempo at a pedestrian's pace. When he did bring it down, it did go a little bit behind him. I think any other team, they'd be rushing to take advantage of that to then get in front of him. But they were all walking back, or at least a light jog. So he kind of like took the touch and he went a little bit behind him, and he was like, okay, sack it, I'll keep going. So he just kept charging forward, and then Jack Clark does what Jack Clark does best. And I say all the time, and I will never tire of repeating this. He can be as predictable as you want. I've already seen it all online. Oh, he's so predictable, why can't you stop him? If you're that good at being predictable, or that good at being at said predictable thing, you can't stop someone. If Jack Clark wants to cut in from left to right, he's going to goddamn do it as much as you predict it. And he did. He cut in from left to right, took on his man, and he's buried it. He's pinged it into the bottom right-hand corner from distance to make it 2-0. So we're 2-0 up within, I think, 8-9 minutes. Absolutely incredible start. The worst possible start for Sheffield Wednesday. And then we at that point, you know, it was almost like at times where it was matching them for their tempo, because you could see, like, we kind of took the foot off the gas a little bit, the sort of foot off the pedal, if you will. And we were kind of just strolling the ball around a little bit. It was nice to see, but I think we could, if we really went for it, I think we could have easily gone, 3, 4, 5-0 up by half time. Well, we did go 3 by half time, but we could have gone even more, should I say, because like they were just kind of walking around the pitch at this point, and understandably so, I guess, to an extent. But we were starting to kind of match them. Like, if we watched, we could have really gone for it, pile bodies forward, and even though we still had the movement off the ball, which was great, we get the ball and we really slowed down and we're almost matching them. But we did make it 3. Of course, we did win a penalty. It was a brilliant little spin from Burstow in the box, and he's taken down. Then Clark steps up to take the penalty, and of course, no mistake from him to make it 3-0. We step up, half-time, 3-0. Fantastic, fantastic. And now, second half, again, it's difficult to really dissect this game too hard. It really is. I'm looking at the game, and it was like a friendly in that second half. Sheffield Wednesday did actually make and create a couple of little half chances here and there, particularly at the back end of the game. I think they had a free header which went straight at Pato, but they did create a couple of little chances here and there. But other than that, like I said, it felt like a friendly. We brought on Alshish, Bar came on. Royson, or I'm not too sure. I'm saying Royson. I don't know how anyone else is pronouncing it. I don't want to be pissing people off with my pronunciations too often, but I'm saying Royson in a minute. He come on. He had a couple of little touches here and there. Sheesh actually saw quite a lot of the ball coming down the left-hand side. He looked really, really sharp, to be fair to him, which was nice to see. Rig come on as well. But yeah, it was good to see us bringing those kind of players on. Sealt's got his first team appearance. I think they struck him on at right back with 5 minutes to go. Didn't really have to do too much, I won't lie. But yeah, we just walked it in that second half, really. Like I said, Sheffield Wednesday, they did throw it at us a little bit, but it was nothing too difficult. I just think it was one of those games where if we wanted to, we could have racked up 5, 6, 7 if we really went for it. But I felt like it was almost like we had a bit of a conscience at times. In that second half, I will say my probably only frustration in that second half, particularly early doors, and I can't really pick out negatives from a 3-0 win, which, by the way, I predicted in my preview. I've just realised, nearly 7 minutes into this video, I made the prediction 3-0. I also predicted Jack Clark to score 2, but I predicted Dan Neil to get the other, not Dan Ballard. So yeah, I was very, very close with my prediction for the game. But yeah, the thing that did frustrate me a little bit was Patrick Roberts. Now, I think everyone on the pitch had at least a sort of 7 out of 10 rating for me, plus. I don't think Patrick Roberts did, and I know he hasn't started in 6 games, it's his first start, but even when he's been coming on, and I've been saying he hasn't looked great, and I think he looked pretty poor today, if I'm going to be totally honest with you, and I'm not going to, dig him out proper, but in that second half in particular, I think straight away we managed to put it over to him on that right-hand side, loads and loads of space, he had absolutely loads of space, and on the far side with Jack Clark, and it was easy to see. Jack Clark was in acres of space, totally free, unmarked, all they had to do was pass it across goal, Jack Clark has a tap-in. He holds onto it, and he holds onto it, and he holds onto it, and waits and waits and waits until Jack Clark is marked. So that one's gone. So then he cuts inside. Then not Patrick Roberts. Then Pritchard holds his run at the edge of the box, totally free. Has no Sheffield Wednesday man anyway near him. Then Roberts goes for goal himself, and it's blocked and goes out for a corner. I just felt like, yeah, I get it with 3-0 up, but he probably just wants to get a goal to his name to get himself up and running again. But I don't give a shit whether you're 6, 7, 8-0 up. I don't care. Pass the ball in those situations. When it's easier to score, always pass. I'm just very much a professional. Jesus Christ, a professional head at that kind of stage. I don't care what scoreline is. You pass the ball, and literally a few months later, he did the same thing. He got to the byline brilliantly well, really, really well. And again, Pritchard's free in the middle, and he tries to kind of poke it in at the near post, and it's blocked for a corner. He just got a little bit greedy for me. Like I say, regardless of the scoreline, I don't like that at all. And I know he had a bit of a laugh about it, so did Pritch and stuff, but that'd frustrate the living shit out of me. Don't get me wrong, but we know how good Patrick Roberts can be. I think he's just a little bit out of form at the moment, and you could see that he was just desperate to get the goal, but I don't think that kind of excuses greediness at times, but I can understand, but we see it out. 3-0, we're back to winning ways. That's the confidence boost we needed. But I think that's one of those games that could give us a little bit of a false sense of security, because I think anyone could have beat that Sheffield Wednesday team tonight. I don't want us to go away and think we're Billy Big Bollocks because we beat the Sheffield Wednesday team. We were down on the knees anyway, 3-0, and it should have arguably been more. We need to be right up for it. Next week we play again midweek, and we need to go again, be professional, and keep our winning ways going. So we are back to winning ways, 4th in the league. Great stuff, great win. It's good to see a few of the new lads as well get a little shout, get them a little bit of minutes in the legs and get them embedded in the team. But yeah, 3-0, absolutely buzzing, guys, absolutely buzzing. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. But if you've enjoyed, please hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, take care and stay jamming.